Hello everyone and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a singles new love reading for Aquarius. We're going to look at the kind of love you're ready to experience now based on the growth you've already done. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Aquarius, please. Let's see who this person is. All right, so we see the Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag. They're also showing up as the King of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. They're viewing you as the Six of Swords, okay? Six of Wands, rather. And the connection, we see the Five of Swords, Venus in Aquarius, all right? And we see the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like you have someone with strong either Sagittarius energy or the fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius here. Now, the Queen of Wands tells me this is somebody who's sexy, powerful, passionate, attractive, charismatic, resilient, strong. And with the Wheel of Fortune, this is a destined partnership, but this is somebody here, Aquarius, who has a lot to offer. All right. Some of you might know this person from the gym. We can see that clearly on the Queen of Wands, but for others of you, it's someplace you like to go back to. This person sees you as someone who matches their energy in the Six of Wands. Successful, attractive, getting a lot of attention. They're showing up as the Four of Cups in reverse. So I do feel like this is someone who's going to pursue you, Aquarius. This may be someone who rejects a lot of offers, but they're really going to be emotionally available to you. And they may even surprise you with a love offer here. And we see the Sun card, Leo energy. Now, don't judge a book by its cover. The Sun card tells me this person may be a lot more than what they originally seem. So some of my Aquarius, you might feel like this person has a supercharged ego because they're really good looking. They get a lot of attention. But I actually think this person is, feels like it. I feel like they're just much more than what they seem, but in a really good way. They have much more emotional depth than maybe you first give them credit for. My Aquarius, you're feeling the Two of Cups in reverse, so you're sensing potential, but you may not be so sure that this is it, this is the one, this is your soulmate, from your first meeting or your first few interactions. I do think this person, I don't think that they hide their feelings, but I do feel like, once you get to know them, you see that they have much more emotional depth than you were anticipating, or they have much more to offer than they come off as. All right, but I do think they come off as sexy and attractive and charismatic and all of those things, but you might be questioning the emotional depth here. Yeah, this person, and for some of you too, this person might actually be quite wealthy or quite abundant, and they might not, the Queen of Wands will show that off, right? But, for some reason, I kind of feel like they might have a lot more than what you're expecting. And for some of you, you know that they have a lot to offer, and you might just kind of assume they're superficial because of that, but they're not. So they've worked hard to achieve their success, and a comfortable lifestyle is indicated. This person doesn't have any children. These are really specific messages that aren't going to resonate with all of you, but that's okay. And for some of you, they have a close-knit relationship with their father. They might look like their father. They might act like their father. They may have followed in their father's footsteps. They could be a caregiver for their father, live with their father. And for others of you, this person may be a single parent and have a daughter in particular. So I know those are contradictory messages here, Aquarius, but I'm reading for a lot of you. Okay, so just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right, and we see this person has been actually a bit closed off. They've been deeply wounded, and trust must be established to open their heart. And they might not come off that way. They might talk to a lot of people. They might get a lot of attention. You might think even this person is probably promiscuous or something like that, but they really are quite picky, Aquarius. And we see that they're passionate. There's never a dull moment with this type of person who enjoys life fully. They could be an exciting lover. But I actually think they're much more discerning and much pickier than maybe you're anticipating. Now, I love this King of Swords for you, Aquarius, because this is air energy, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius energy. But this person is loyal. This person is intelligent. And I know my Aquas out there, you don't like to be with no dummy, right? Like my Aquas, you need that sort of emotional, intellectual stimulation. You need somebody who can think outside of the box, that, is a logical and a critical thinker here. But, the King of Swords is also somebody who's very well put together. I do think this person is a head turner. They have their own unique personal style, but it's like elegant, or it's, even if it's, a little flashy or avant-garde, they're really well put together is what I'm getting. They present themselves really well. I'm getting some of you, this person smells really good. You might notice their perfume or their cologne. And we see that they're awakened. Yeah, my Aquarius, you can't be with somebody who's not, right? There's major attraction here, and we see they're nonconformist. Again, my Aquas, you're going to just love that, because that's very Aquarian energy. Like, you don't have to do everything by the book, or you march to the beat of your own drum, and you've got somebody here who really connects with you on that level. And yeah, I am picking up on this being a really pleasant surprise, because you may kind of not see this at first with this person. All right, so let's see what else we need to know about them. What else do my Aquas need to know about this person, please? What else do my Aquarius need to know about this person, please? All right, so we see main male showing up in reverse. Now remember, my readings are not meant to be gender specific, okay, but some of the cards that I use are. Some of you, this person, like I said, I feel like they're actually quite picky. I feel like they've been closed off, or they've rejected a lot of offers. They may not be, when you meet this person, or, thinking about stepping up and being in a relationship, or maybe they're just assuming that there's nobody that's really going to match their energy, so they're not really super focused on that. We see despair. Yeah, for some of you, this person is somebody who's self-made, which is really interesting, because I do feel like they have a lot to offer now, but they may have come from nothing, or experienced bankruptcy or financial issues in the past. So it does tell me that this person has grit. They've worked really hard for what they have. And for others of you, they have been really closed off from love, because they were really hurt and maybe kind of left a little bit broken from a connection. But it does look like that's something that they've healed, they've moved on from. Yeah, and some of you, it was a divorce or separation or some sort of legal issues there in their past, right? What that led to that despair or a lack of money, but they don't. That's something they've healed from, and I think you'll probably be surprised that this person has been through so much. We see the journey here coming in reverse, which is telling me that this person is actually closer to you, whether that's in space or time, than you think. All right, so it's like they're either already around you, or they're coming in much sooner than you think they are. All right, let's see what else we need to know. What else do we need to know here, please? What else do we need to know? All right, this person is vegetarian, or they're a healthy eater, or they're on some sort of specialized diet. We see that they're physically active. Yep, so I do see that with that Queen of Wands, most likely somebody who likes to exercise or go to the gym, or just takes good care of their health and their body. All right, we see communicating their feelings comes easy for them. Okay, beautiful. So somebody honest and direct. I see that with the King of Swords. And they want to send you a message. So some of you might meet this person online. For others of my Aquarius, they could already have your details. All right. And we see they have lost a loved one within the last year, so they could be in mourning. This person could be a widow or a widower or something like that. They're viewing you as the Six of Wands, though. They're viewing you as somebody who is resilient, somebody who's strong, somebody who's successful, sexy, somebody who gets a lot of attention. So in that sense, I feel like you two are very similar in a lot of ways. But they feel like you can match their energy. Now, they're seeing you as the Four of Pentacles, so they see stability here. But they also know that you're holding back, Aquarius, that you're not going to just jump into anything. And I think this person is well aware that they're probably going to have to win you over. And we see the Three of Swords. Now, they might be worried here about some sort of third party, and that could be the case with the Five of Swords. You might have to make a decision here, Aquarius, between this person and someone else. But I also feel, too, some of my Aquarius, you could be on your own healing journey, and you might not be that focused on love, or maybe even want to be in a relationship. So I feel like, they might be worried here about some timing issues. But we see you going from the Two of Cups in reverse to the Emperor, Aries energy. So I do feel like you sense potential, but you might not really be looking for a relationship when they come towards you. But it's like after getting to know them, seeing who they really are, like Emperor energy is, I want to fight for this. Ooh, this is in alignment with me. Ooh, I can see this being something powerful and long term. All right, so I love this energy. All right, let's see what else they really admire about you. What else does this person really admire about my Aquarius, please? We see, yep, athlete. Some of you meet at the gym, right? Or somewhere you like to work out, or you both are kind of health nuts, or you both are into yoga, or you both are into boxing, or you both are into hiking or skiing or something. But it doesn't have to be the case. I mean, maybe some of you, it's just you two take care of yourselves is what I'm getting. And this person really appreciates that. They see you as the athlete archetype, a dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. Yeah, beautiful. And hero and heroine. Now, this is one of my favorite cards to come through in a love reading, Aquarius, because you have a passion for a journey of personal empowerment. So this person's not looking for perfection. They're looking for growth. And I also see, I've got two people coming from different places that want to get to the same mountaintop, to the same end, right? And so I love that energy. And they embody that as well. So I see all this compatibility. Aquarius, they're also seeing you as the alchemist, which for me is like the magician archetype. So transformation of base motives and goals into wisdom. So they see you as someone who is, who's basically learned a lot of tough karmic lessons. You've been through a lot, but that's where you source your wisdom and your authority from. And they also see that you're capable of manifesting what you want. You have that victory and success here about you. So the Five of Swords here tells me that there could be a little bit of conflict here. And again, this person might be worried about timing. They might be worried about third party. I might have two people who have been really hurt in relationships. So, are kind of not wanting a relationship, not wanting to get hurt again. So might hold back a little bit at first. All right. Also, this is Venus in Aquarius energy. So someone here could have that particular placement. But the Five of Swords is also being unapologetic about fighting for what you want. So I do feel like this is a connection definitely worth fighting for. And we see that this person is quietly confident. This person carries self-assurance without needing to dominate, and their confidence feels calming. Yeah, absolutely. All right, and we see during a time of change or transition, this connection enters during a shift in your life. Movement and change create space for alignment. Yeah, and again, that might be also why you're a little bit hesitant here in the beginning. And this is what I was getting at. This person is committed to learning from experiences. They value evolution over perfection. Yeah, absolutely. All right. And Aquarius, the purpose of this connection is to expand your emotional capacity. So this connection stretches your ability to give, receive, and hold emotion with greater depth and awareness. Beautiful. All right, let's see. Anything else my Aquarius need to know here about this person? Anything else my Aquarius need to know here about this person? All right, guided steps to great love. Follow the path of ascension. So keep doing what you're doing, Aquarius. You're on the right path. We see love language affirmation. So someone here may be working with affirmations, but loving words hold great power. All right, and let go of the past. It kind of feels like both of you, are going to be, when you meet, it's kind of like you're going to understand why other connections didn't work out. But, clear your energy to allow more love into your life. We see this is going to be a very healing connection. And going back to that initial message I was getting, Aquarius, don't judge a book by its cover. This person is going to be so much more than what they seem. Feels like you two really are going to be a perfect match here. All right, so let's see what else we need to know. All right, we see things might move quickly, and you're not meant to know exactly when it's coming in. The Wheel of Fortune does indicate divine timing here, Aquarius. All right, I'm going to leave it here, Aquarius. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care.